Hey guys, welcome to somewhere in Baja. We're on a beach, it's beautiful. In today's episode, I'm going to show you guys a little bit of what we did on the Betty electrical system and give you 5 simple tips on how to make a safe electrical system. So let's get after it. Our plan when building out Betty was to be able to stay in place for long periods of time. We wanted to be able to reach those distant places where few others venture, set up and have sufficient power to charge our camera gear, phones, laptops, and also run our induction top. In this video, we'll give you a brief rundown of what components our system is comprised of and a rough explanation of how they work. As a disclaimer, I want to note that I am not a professional. I have a safe electrical system that works well, has plenty of fail-safes, but it was not built by a ticketed electrician. Please keep that in mind. Having said that, it also means that this is an electrical system that you can build. The electrical system in Betty is comprised of 5 major components: the 40 amp DC-DC charger, 40 amp MPPT solar controller, 200 amp hour self-heating lithium-ion battery, 2 110 watt solar panels, and our 3000 watt inverter charger. We'll start with our starting battery. We have 2 4-gauge cables leading from the engine bay into the cab. We have set up the van so that all of the vehicle electronics can be easily disconnected using this large switch. This charger allows our house battery to charge as we drive so that we are not wholly dependent on solar charging. The DC-DC charger converts the output from your primary battery and charges your secondary battery using optimal charging, which means you can charge a lithium battery from an AGM battery. Next up, we have our solar controller. When your panels suck down solar radiation from the sun, it comes down in a higher voltage than what your battery is. In our case, we have lithium batteries that have a max charge of 14.4 volts, and our panels peak at 22.4 volts. The charge controller takes the higher voltage of the panels and steps it down to a voltage that can charge your batteries. The charge controller will also optimize charging for lithium, AGM, or lead acid batteries. Hey guys, thanks so much for tuning in on this video. Before we continue, I just want to let you know about the sponsor of today's video. If you haven't clued in, it's REE Solar, or Rare Earth Elements Solar. They're a Canadian-based solar electric company offering up high quality but affordable solar electric components for your off-grid build. Whether you're building an off-grid cabin, off-grid house, off-grid van, they've got the componentry for you. So make sure to check them out, and if you decide to purchase from them, be sure to use Roamlndr for 5% off your entire purchase. I won't hold you up any longer. On with the video. Thanks for watching. As mentioned, we have a 200 amp hour self-heating lithium-ion battery. In colder Canadian climates, where it's common for temperatures to drop well below freezing, it's important that if you intend to charge or discharge your lithium battery, that it be at the correct temperature to do so. According to batteryuniversity.com, it is best if lithium batteries are not charged at a temperature lower than 0 degrees Celsius or discharged at a temperature below -20 degrees Celsius. We have an induction top in the van, which is a big power draw. So when we found out that REE has a 3000 watt inverter charger, it was an easy decision. Where the inverter charger differs from a typical inverter is the ability to charge our battery. We can plug the van into 120 volt shore power or a generator, and it will take over the 12 volt charging of the house battery. The primary operation of the inverter, however, is to take 12 volt power and convert it into 120 volt so that household devices can be run. With 3000 watts, we can easily run large appliances like a blender, microwave, heated blanket, or an AC unit, with our only limiting factor being how quickly we can charge our battery. So I've been building vans for a pretty long time, and in the various builds that I've done, I've kind of come up with a way that I like to do things. So what I'm about to tell you is not necessarily the very best way, but it certainly is a safe way, and it'll help kind of mellow out your learning curve a little bit. If you are a super technical person and have a pretty good understanding of 12-volt electrical, these may not be the tips that you need. But if you are getting into electrical for the very, very first time, these may be really, really helpful. So let's get after it. Wire gauge is a very important thing to consider when building the electrical system in your van. Many of your accessories, like lights, fan, charge ports, will be safe to use 16 gauge wire. However, it's important to take into account the distance from your battery that each of these accessories are. With the increased length of wire, the higher the resistance. To combat this, you can either increase voltage or increase the size of the wire. I found, to simplify things, it's best just to use 14 gauge wire throughout your build. If you purchase a 14 gauge duplex wire, it will contain both a negative and a positive so that you can complete your circuit at your fuse block with minimal mess. As an additional note, purchase threaded copper or tinned wire. Do not use industrial or residential solid copper wire. It does not like vibration or bending. Fuses and circuit breakers and emergency disconnects are your friend when it comes to not starting fires in your van. We use a REE supplied fuse block for all our minor accessories like lights, fans, and charge ports, and good quality thermal breakers for all of our major accessories like our inverter and various battery chargers. There are two primary styles of thermal breakers that you will likely come across. This inline breaker that simplifies installation by allowing you to clamp a wire that has been stripped of its insulation, or this pull style of thermal breaker that has pulls that clamp eyelets using a nut and washer. Both breakers have their pros and cons. I prefer to use the pull style breakers. Believe it or not, I'm going to say for number 3, cable ties and wall anchors are two items that people overlook quite often. We've all seen electrical systems like this in our internet research. Although this system may be completely harmless, with a little effort it can look like this. Aside from aesthetics, wire organization and securement is a crucial skill to exercise. If you're building an electrical system in a moving vehicle, it will continuously be subjected to vibration and movement. This can lead to wire fatigue, connections loosening off, and a myriad of other vibration and movement related problems. Making sure your wires or cables are secure is especially important in your high amperage cables, like those leading to your inverter from your battery. If connections or cables come loose, you could possibly see increased resistance, heat buildup, and eventual melting of metal or fire. Securing your wires is a simple way to prevent this likelihood from happening. Number 4 is tools. Tools are something that can be just as confusing as the process of purchasing your electrical system. These are the tools that we use to build our system. Last but not least, heat shrink. Prior to your electrical job, buy a few rolls of various gauge heat shrink in both red and black and a pair of scissors. If you can, find a box of your assorted connectors and eyelets without the plastic insulation. Not only will you thank yourself when your electrical system is done and it looks professional, your heat shrink connections will be better insulated and less likely to break. Alright guys, I hope you enjoyed this video. I hope you find it useful. Like I mentioned before, I'm not a professional. I learned how to do all this stuff by myself and it took me a long time. And what I'm hoping this video does for you is it just speeds up your process a little bit and maybe makes a safe electrical system so that you don't wind up on fire, which, as we all know, is a bad thing. If you like this video, hit that like button. If you want to see more videos like this or more adventure videos, hit that subscribe button. And yeah, if you really enjoy this video, let me know in the comments section below. I really appreciate your comments. So until next time, remember to keep on roaming. Later.